morning, everybody. My name is Alyssa Youngerman, and this is my capstone project entitled The Oak is a Home to Many, a Thematic Hike. The community issue my project addresses is basically getting more people outdoors. There are a lot of different health benefits to hiking and being outdoors in general. It can lower obesity rates, and it can lower stress levels. Also, particularly towards the children aspect, children that are more exposed to nature at a younger age grow up and are more aware of conservation in the future, and they're more prone to donate to conservation causes in the future as well. Also, there's just a plethora of beautiful spaces in the Monterey Bay area, which also drew me to this project. The community partner I worked with on this project was the Monterey Peninsula Regional Park District, and I worked with a classmate of mine in my service learning class named Allison on this project, and we worked with Jackie Nelson from MPRPD, who is the environmental education supervisor there. The goal of MPRPD is to help facilitate interactions between the public and nature, and their mission is to preserve and protect natural and open spaces. So the goals of my project were to create and implement a thematic hike at Garland Ranch Regional Park in Carmel Valley. A thematic hike is basically just an interpretive walk with multiple different stopping points that all relate back to a main theme, our theme being that the oak is a home to many different organisms. We also had a verbal survey before the hike started just to kind of get an idea of what our participants knew beforehand, and we had a written survey I handed out afterwards to see how much knowledge they retained from the information we gave them. We also advertised for our hike before it actually happened. This flyer on your right-hand side was made by my classmate Allison, and the picture on your left, is actually one of the stops that we had. It was the second stop on our hike. This is just a screenshot of our hike being advertised on Monterey Peninsula Regional Park District's social media page, and it was also on their website. So what exactly did I do for this project? Allison and I created a hike with 4 different stopping points, and we each took 2 stopping points each. We did a little bit of background research on exactly what we wanted to talk about, and we ended up choosing the coast live oak tree because there's many different oak trees in the area. We picked the coast live oak because it's a keystone species and many different organisms do rely on it in different ways. Our hike was performed on December 7th, and we made this outline on the right-hand side to give to MPRPD after the hike was completed so they can use it in the future. This is the trail that we took our hike on. The red trail was one we went on. We started at the visitor center, and there's 4 different stopping points. We went around the loop and loop, all the way to the Rancho Loop. For example, at stop 1, I introduced ways to identify different oak trees, and this is just an example. The coast live oak on your left has a darker bark with deep grooves and ridges, and the interior live oak on your right has a smoother bark that's more of a brown color. So this was a 2-question survey I handed out at the end of my hike, and luckily 100% of my participants answered both of these questions correctly. And the verbal survey did point out that they didn't have much previous knowledge of the topic beforehand. Some limitations I encountered for this project were, I think the reason that 100% of my participants answered the questions correctly is because there was only 2 of them. However, they did still learn something. Time was also a factor in general. I wish we had a little bit more time to advertise. I think that would have brought more people on our hike, and just maybe more time to practice before our actual hike happened. As far as successes go, this was directly related to my personal goals. I kind of see myself being an interpreter in the future, maybe like a park ranger or something. So I really got to take the techniques I learned in my service learning class about interpretation and put them to work, which is really exciting for me. Also, the participants did gain knowledge after speaking with them verbally after the hike happened, and they did say they really enjoyed it and they really did learn a lot. So overall, this was a very rewarding experience for me. I recommend undergraduates like myself to get that hands-on experience either through their service learning class or through other internships. It's a really good way to kind of get an idea of what kind of field you want to go into and exactly what the work you're going to do in the future after the stuff that you learn in the classroom. Also, I encourage MPRPD to continue working with CSUMB as well with their service learners, for students that are interested in this type of field like I was. I also encourage MPRPD to keep using the hike in the future with future volunteers. They just need the manpower to do it, and they can probably adapt it to different parks as well. These are the people I'd like to thank, and I thank you all for your attention.